Ready?
I know how from the circumcision argument how important it is to be attractive to girls, right? Okay. With that in mind, hypothetical female Woody might fuck you just to see your wolf. You know, the tasks weren't even that impressive. I had to buy gas.
Oh shit! How'd it go?
It was rough because I bought 30 gallons of diesel. And
well, they didn't want to give it to me, right? And so I go and start blasting
in these big.
My dad learned early on that he needed to step in or things were going to get violent because, like, when I was like 5, my older sister she'd pull this joke where, you gotta keep in mind, I'm like 4 or 5. So, like, all she had to do was hide behind the island in the kitchen and pop out and go, ah! And it would terrify a 4 or 5-year-old. Yeah. And like, the same joke works over and over 10 minutes apart. I'm still just fucking terrified by her hopping out from behind this island. And my dad was putting wallpaper up in the living room. This is like 1990. And I go in there and I'm like, hey, she's scaring me. She keeps scaring me. You know, and I'm like almost tearful. And he's just like, I'm working here. Handle it yourself. I'm working. He's putting this wallpaper up and I'm just like, all right. So his level was there. His carpenter's level, and this isn't one of those plastic ones you get nowadays. It's made of wood with steel around the edges. And so, like, my little ass picks this thing up. I could barely lift it, and I walk back in the kitchen. It's only a few steps away, and she pops out from behind the island, and I crack her in the top of the head with the thing and split her head wide open, like 3 or 4 stitches in the top of her head. And she's probably 13 or something, like, and she's fucking crying her eyes out, fucking blood's going everywhere. And Dad's like, what happened? And I'm like, I got her.
I handled it like you told me to.
He whipped my ass good.
Yo.
When I was like, I think I was probably like 14 or something, and I was in Jamaica with my family on vacation. And, like, you know how you can walk down the beach in a place like Jamaica, and eventually you get to the end of like the resort beach and it just becomes the normal beach. And they have like these like walk-in markets, which is like a bunch of chintzy garbage that you don't really want. But I was walking through there with my girlfriend at the time. We were looking at things, and like, it's like penis pipes and a bunch of silly stuff. And this one Jamaican guy, like, I was like walking by a shop, and he's like, yeah, come in here and see what you like and all that. And I was like, no, like, it's just a bunch of penis pipes. And he's like, this one, he picks up a little one. He's like, this one's American size. Yeah. And I took out my wallet and I go, you know what else is American size? And I left, and it was my first real out in public burn. And I was like, I was high on myself all day at like 13. Like, man, I'm dope. in reality, I probably like stuttered. Like,
follow that one to the hotel. Rob him.
Yeah. Follow that stupid bitch to the hotel. Rape him.
That jump, you took that. You went from 0 to 100 on that one.
That's how, you know, I live in the world.
For anybody who's in like Northeast Georgia, they have this huge outdoor flea market, and I mean, it's massive. You can walk around this thing all day, not necessarily to buy anything, but just to see what they have, because they've got like animals for sale. They've got like, not livestock, but, you know, pets and all sorts of shit. And they've got like stolen tools and like all that nonsense that like you would never actually buy, like blow guns and like little crossbows, like all sorts of junk. And there was this black guy selling homemade colognes in these little vials. And my girlfriend at the time and I were talking to him, and he's like, they all had funny names. He's like, this one is called Fuck More. And I was like, oh, okay. And we smell it. He's like, and this one's called Pussy. Like, they all had ridiculous names, and they all smelled awful. I was just like, all right, well, we're not buying any of that.
I understand so much all of Woody's just ranting over the years with contractors and stuff, with being a homeowner, because I tried, fool that I am. When I started having people over to do these things, I was like, I need to be courteous and nice. And I'd hear Woody be like, and so I tell this fucking liar to eat my ass. And so, but now these people will walk in and be like, oh yeah, that foundation thing, that'll be $4,000. It's like, but I just paid you $3,000. And they're like, yeah, how about you suck my dick now on your knees? $4,500. It's going up by the second. Every second, my dick remains dry, and it's like, no.
I'm working on it.
I'm gonna burp. Oh, there we go. I should have muted my mic, but why? I kind of swallowed it. It's not terrible.
Nothing comes between me and my masters.
What is it, Father?
These footprints were made by the Flying Monkey Men.